When I have interns come in to Franklin Dental Care and Dentures or any of my companies, I tell them expect to fail. Expect to fail. The reason is because most of the successful people that we follow in our lives have failed more times than most people have tried. If we don't adopt this philosophy sooner rather than later, we're really going to hamstring ourselves in terms of how much we can grow and what opportunities are available. Failure comes with trying new things. For instance, I'm trying to implement some systems. I'm trying to do some stuff. By the way, my name's Turab. I am a business mentoring coach. I am also a influencer. I talk about leadership, whatever. If you want this stuff in your feed, just subscribe. It's a good part of the environment, in my opinion. Always try to put out some positive stuff. But basically, the stuff that I'm making physically as companies and as organizations, a lot of it isn't charted out, right? And currently, I can't afford to pay those people that have already done it to get to the point where those things are more efficient. Now, I am taking their courses, I am following them on social media, I am consuming as much stuff as I can on YouTube, but the reality is, like, they're not in my specific system. They don't have the specific people around that I do. They don't have the specific problems. They don't have the specific personality that I do. So that means that their advice is really only as useful as understanding their philosophy on it. Right? Understanding how the way that they think and how I can apply that to my things. But that doesn't mean that when I'm going through the process, everything's just going to click in place, right? It's a necessary thing to fail. It's a necessary thing to understand that we are going to put a lot of energy and effort into something, and it might well collapse on its face.
Another face plant.
What's the point of doing it then? What's the point of putting in all this effort and moving? The point is you. You are the point. Everything that you decide to go and pursue, everything that you go and do to make yourself uncomfortable is building your skill sets. I've taken on a lot of work over the last year in things that I really don't have a background in, right? I've gone to dental school for my entire life. I don't know how to build systems or do marketing. I don't know any of this shit, right? But the reality is, if I don't put myself in situations where I can learn that thing, even through failure, I'm never going to learn it, and no one's going to teach it to me, right? So at the end of the day, we have to realize that whenever you're going into uncharted territory, which ideally is at least half the time in your life, okay? All that time that you spend away from your career, you should be trying to figure out what the uncharted territory in your mind, your spirit, your body is. You got to figure that out. That's what makes you powerful. The propensity to go into that uncharted territory, it's scary. It requires a lot of courage. It requires a lot of consistency. And it requires tremendous people and finding tremendous people all the time to help us stay accountable for our goals. But we should never assume that it's going to go well. A lot of the really successful people that I know are always planning for the worst case scenario. They are literally every single day, and it can be exhausting. It is something that you just have to do at a certain point, because failures are a part of this growth process, right? Setbacks, like, okay, fine, you lost your job, okay? What's the first necessary step? It's to build yourself back up in your head as someone that's actually useful, and then to go and find those opportunities, and don't stop until you do, right? If you lost a loved one, if your house burned down, whatever happens in life, and it's going to happen. Let me make this abundantly clear to you. If you're living any sort of life, if you're alive, you're gonna have shit happen to you, right? Having that understanding that life is just like that will necessarily put you into a mindset to prepare for those things. The other thing is, and this is from a really high level, Brandon Dawson, I went to a 9-figure boardroom, and he said to me, he built a company that was multiple hundreds of millions of dollars, and he was at the top of his game. And one day, his board, because he made the wrong decision in wording, removed him from the company, replaced him, and sold the entire company within a day. Okay? Imagine ringing the bell on Wall Street and the day before, and then getting fired the day after, right? He said something really poignant. He said, the things that are going to get you in life, you don't even know about. The things that are going to absolutely screw you in life are things that you don't even know about. You have no conception of. And so knowing that that's going to happen, knowing that that's a reality, that's how life is, we must have tremendous courage, and we must necessarily know that the things that we are pursuing, even if they fail, we are the valuable thing. We are the thing that's learning. And that means that we can apply our skill set to any other situation and be given an opportunity. The free economy in capitalism is beautiful because of that. If you have the knowledge and you have the heart and you have the network, you are a certain amount of value in society. When you get paid that baseline amount, you should never accept a job that gives you less than that unless there's some sort of equity or some sort of other investment thing going on, right? Because you know you have that skill set. Now, if the person you're working with is stupid and pays you more than you're worth, then you got to reassess there, right? But the reality is, again, you're going to fail. You're going to fail, and take tremendous joy in failing. I was watching a podcast the other day, or I think an interview with some guy that built an AI company, and he literally told all of these students in the audience, I wish upon you ample amounts of pain and suffering in life.
I curse you and wish you a painful death.
I wish upon you ample amounts of pain and suffering in life. Can you imagine someone saying that with a straight face? It's true, because they teach you shit. Right? If you're running around happy all the time and everything's working out for you, do you think you're learning very much? Probably not. It's when you get your heart broken. It's when you lose income. It's when someone tells you that you're kind of being a dick, right? That you have to sit down and think to yourself, okay, how do I change? What have I learned from this? My friend, we got to embrace that. Actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Take care of yourself, and I wish ample amounts of pain and suffering, so that you can be the amazing person that you really need to be for your family, your friends, and your society. If you're looking for any sort of mentoring or more on this, there's plenty of videos that I've made about this. There's also the Turabify Network. There's also a bunch of other companies that I'm working on. Just figure out a way to DM me or get in touch, and we'll go and make this thing happen. Take care of yourself.